fantasy, reality, and of course,
She is so ethereal, 𝑠𝑡. I will fight.
it took me 1 year, 8 months, 13 days of waiting for this. Waiting for my most anticipated book adaptation and for my most adored Bridgerton sibling to finally take the spotlight.
You shall all bear witness to my talent!
After working my way through 4 drafts of the script and multiple pages of notes, let me start simply. Bridgerton Season 4 earns a solid 4.5 out of 5 from me. And I feel like what I'm about to ramble on about will probably never feel enough to capture everything this season made me feel. This season adapts An Offer from a Gentleman, following Benedict Bridgerton and Sophie Beck. Their story begins at an enchanting Bridgerton masquerade. Benedict, who is already exhausted from his mother's relentless attempts to make him mingle with the ladies of the dawn, catches sight of a mysterious lady in silver who, rather than chasing his attention, is simply delighting in the magic of the evening. Intrigued, Benedict whisked her away to a private terrace, and in that brief moment together, he is completely taken by her. But as these stories tend to go, the clock strikes midnight and she disappears. Months pass, still searching and still hoping to find the woman who captured his heart. Benedict unexpectedly encounters a maid named Sophie in a rather unfortunate situation and rescues her. The two retreat to his countryside home where they begin to know each other better and inevitably grow closer. But their peaceful countryside bubble cannot last forever. Once they return to London, they must face a world where the spark growing between them is something society cannot simply allow. As much as I wanted to love Season 4 exactly as it is, I did find myself missing the visual signature established in Season 2, which remains by far my favorite season visually. This time around, the framing and overall tone of the scenes feel noticeably different. After looking into it further, I found out that director Trisha Brock, whose episodes in Season 2 and Season 3 were among my favorites, did not return this season. But to be fair, this is clearly me nitpicking. There are still plenty of details to appreciate. The season includes small parallels and visual nuggets that make every rewatch feel like a new discovery. My favorite episode this season is episode 5, which features the infamous Hyacinth recital. It also happens to be the episode I enjoyed most visually. I do think its director, Yerin Harris, brings a fresh visual sensibility that becomes more cohesive as the episode progresses, and I'm genuinely excited to see more of her work if she returns in future seasons. Overall, Bridgerton remains its charming self despite the slight shift in visual style. Given my frustratingly unfortunate experience with Season 3, I approached this season with a bit of caution. But when the source material already has such a strong foundation, one that's honestly hard to ruin, Season 4 ultimately turned out to be a wonderful surprise. Part 1 invites us into a fantasy filled with masks, secrets, and the intoxicating freedom of the countryside. A world of flirtation and soft escape where Benedict and Sophie find each other in their own little bubble. Part 2 whisks us back to reality. Loss arrives, consequences close in, the magic fades, revealing the fragile truth of choosing someone when the world insists you shouldn't. At the center of the story, of course, are Benedict and Sophie. In the books, Benedict could sometimes come across as manipulative. even a little cruel. In the show, however, Benedict is someone we've mostly known as the indulger, the free-spirited spare. While Anthony steps into the role of the family's stern father figure, Benedict becomes the older brother everyone turns to when they want a little bit of fun. For years, we've watched him explore art, pleasure, and possibility, trying many things, yet leaving most of them unfinished. On the surface, it looks like drifting. Benedict is starting to grow tired of the endless hamster wheel of expectations society has placed upon him.
This is the way society demands things be done.
I've had quite enough of the demands of society and its utterly antiquated way of doing things.
Sophie, meanwhile, has always been my most beloved character from the Bridgerton books. In the show, Mrs. Mondrich describes her best.
A spitfire so full of life that she has a countess setting foot in a prison because she is so obsessed with this woman.
What I appreciate most is how layered she feels here. She has spent most of her life believing she isn't deserving of care or love, and in many ways, she protects herself with her intelligence and fierce independence. Seeing Sophie come to life on screen is incredibly compelling, and it only makes me feel even more drawn to her. One of the elements I loved most in the book, and something I desperately hoped the show would preserve, was the dynamic between Benedict and Violet. Their relationship was one of the reasons I fell in love with the story in the first place. Seeing it come alive on screen with even more warmth and heart was such a joy to witness. I also appreciated the addition of Alfie and Hazel, characters not found in the books but welcome additions nonetheless. And of course, our precious Posy and the Crabtrees. Their presence add another layer to Sophie's story, reminding us that even in difficult circumstances, there are still people willing to look out for her. The show also weaves in the first half of Francesca's story without overshadowing Benedict's narrative. On one hand, we see Benedict fighting for love, choosing it despite society, expectation, and consequence. On the other, we witness Francesca losing the love of her life and beginning the long process of navigating grief. That contrast deepens the emotional stakes of the season. I was pleasantly surprised by how tightly woven the writing feels this time around. The subplots connect in many ways that actually make sense, and every character has a clear purpose. Through the series, we also experience themes of class, grief, honesty, and the frightening vulnerability of wanting someone deeply, all handled with surprising care. Even Anthony's brief appearance lands like a punch, both to the face and to the heart.
Father would be so proud of you. I know I am.
And even after an admittedly unhealthy number of rewatches, the story feels emotionally potent. Sophie, who is beautifully brought to life by Yerin, is everything I hoped she would be. And seeing someone who looks like her, a fellow Asian woman, leading a series of this scale feels deeply meaningful. Meanwhile, Luke Thompson's Benedict has been my favorite member of the Bridgerton ensemble since the very first season. I'm glad that we get to see the full breadth of what he can do as an actor, with flashes of his stage-trained roots emerging through Benedict's emotional intensity.
For a moment. I have thought it through. I thought every inch of it through.
As Benedict and Sophie, their story unfolds around a simple truth. They see each other. Their connection strips Benedict of his practiced ease and forces him to confront questions of purpose, devotion, and vulnerability.
You have taken possession of me. Shot me back to life.
Through her, we see that Benedict is capable of commitment, of being inspired, of actually finishing what he puts his mind into. Sophie gives him the push to believe he has a purpose, and their brief separation only highlights the insecurities he's running from, because Sophie choosing not to be with him leaves him feeling once again without direction. As for Sophie, who has been led to believe she is undeserving of love, we watch her from the beginning to end keep her walls painfully high. And when those walls finally begin to crumble, her instinct is to run away from it all. Benedict fortunately shows her the rare backbone of consistency, choosing again and again to surrender to the love he feels for her. He just doesn't tell Sophie she deserves more, he proves he is willing to give her more. In that sense, they balance each other out, bringing out the best in one another. And that poignancy carries into their intimacy. Even their most intimate moments feel layered rather than gratuitous. Every touch holding something deeper beneath the surface, with Benedict in many ways showing Sophie how she deserves to be loved and cared for. In the later novels, we're told that Benedict and Sophie's love story becomes almost legendary within the Bridgerton family. Eloise herself reflects on love and marriage while thinking of them, seeing in their relationship the kind of deep romantic devotion she secretly hopes for. And I am truly excited to see more of them on screen. Lately, I've even caught myself flipping through books again, searching for small glimpses of their married life tucked into later stories. One of my favorites is when the Bridgerton brothers are in complete chaos over Eloise, while Sophie simply sits quietly to the side, reading a book. This might be the sincerest and most romantic season the series has given us so far. It feels like the song "I See the Light" from Tangled brought to life. The kind of story where nearly every love song suddenly makes perfect sense. Season 4 takes a beloved story and reshapes it with enough care and emotional precision to feel both familiar and new. It most definitely surprised me in the best way possible. And if tears are any measure of success, this season has certainly earned its place. There is still so much more I could say about this season. I haven't even touched the delight that was the press tour. But I'd like to share this remark from Luke Thompson that gave me a new perspective on adaptations.
I think if a show was always guided by pleasing what the fans want, you'd never surprise someone. You'd never bring them somewhere they didn't think they liked. You also couldn't include other people. It's for the fans and it's also for other people.
And that's it from my notes. If you've seen it, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.